Roberto in Midvale, Utah. See more better with MexicoEyewear.com, and today I get to do something special. I get to cut lenses for one of my brands of frames. Roberto is getting, yes, this is Mexico Eyewear. You can go to MexicoEyewear.com to see them all. He is getting the PTC 104 that comes with a rare earth magnetic clip-on that is very strong. It has 3 magnets that hold it on. You can see on the inside of the frame the corresponding magnets. I have 2 frames that come with these polarized gray clip-ons, and of course it just snaps right on there. Roberto works outdoors and he needs a nice dark gray polarized lens for when he's working. And of course people still get, he's upgrading to the anti-glare coating, but some people still get transitions in here. The transitions don't work in your car. Now as soon as you step outside they will get dark, but a lot of people just keep the clip-on in their car. Think of it as your seatbelt. When you get in the car, put on your seatbelt, put on the clip. When you get out of the car, take off your seatbelt, take off the clip, and just leave that in the car. I can also, if you wanted a second clip, I can do that for you. If you have 2 vehicles, a work truck and then your own personal vehicle, that way you just keep one in your work truck or keep a spare one in your spouse's car. So as soon as you get in, you've got polarized sunglasses ready to go. And of course, all frames come with the flag of Mexico on the right temple, and they come with either Mexico written in 3 colors or with the one color where it says Mexico in white. You always have a choice with that. So the website's still being built. The default colors are the 3 colors of the flag: the green, white, and red. Verde, Blanca y Rojo. I know I'm terrible. I'm working on it. But we got the colors of the flag. It has the same eagle. And if you can, I don't think my camera will zoom in, but it's got the snake wrapped up in the talons of the eagle. But yeah, it'll be Mexico, well, I should say PTC 104-1, which means 1 color. The default color is going to be 3. I'll always check with you to make sure you get what you want. Now this frame comes in a glossy demi tortoise, which is a lighter color, both of them with a clip-on, or the matte black. You get a choice. So again, all the frames you can either get with the 3 colors Mexico written on the side or just the 1 color. But let me go ahead and begin. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses that come in this frame. Put the frame into the tracing element on my blocker, program the shape into the computer. So years from now, should Roberto need new lenses, I can mail them right to his home and he can pop them in when I show him how to do it. He is Secret Agent 2668. So I'm going to hit the start button. A little stylus is going to pop up, go around, trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at MexicoEyewear.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any frame from me and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they're prescription or not. You can use health savings account flex dollars to purchase these. I need to enter his pupillary distance, which is 33.5 for each eye. That is the shape that I'll be cutting. So the computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to tap this plus button twice to get to 33.5. I do want to raise the optical center up to 2 millimeters to 22. Let me grab my pen. We're going to go 2 above and cut at 22. So these are his lenses. I need to get them prepped, so I'm going to come here to my Marco 101 lensometer. His right eye reads -1, -1/4 at 120, -1, -1/4 at 120. Put the power drum on mine. Actually, let's make sure everything's zeroed out. Okay, put the power drum on -1. Take the lens out of the protective packet. Put the lens in, rotate it until the spherical component of his prescription comes into view first, the -1. Let me check 1/4, yep, of his astigmatism, and I'll explain all that later. I'm going to put 3 dots on the lenses. And you can see that 1, 2, 3. And this is the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens that only needs spherical correction. He has no astigmatism, so that one is -1, -1. Take the lens out of the packet. I really only need to put a center dot, but the machine's going to still go ahead and put 3. And I'm going to label this one L for left. And if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You will learn that you will get free bad jokes for the purchase of every pair of glasses sold with me. Now this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got right here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the first one. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now that silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. And the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me that the lens is oriented in there just perfectly. But we're going to get everything laid out as such. Always like to make sure the lens is large enough to fit. Hit that button, the arm comes down, places the block onto the right lens. We'll do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right, which I can identify with. Pull the paper away, line up the magnet, same pupillary distance, same optical center height. Now because this is spherical, I literally could rotate the lens any direction, and he's gonna, as long as I nail the pupillary distance. But the blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. The eye is just above that in inset. Get everything lined up in there perfectly. And hit that button, the arm comes down, places the block onto the left lens. Now, this is what's known as the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you will need this guy with the 2 thumbs to do it for you. But the actual cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel on the left that's going to grind away your lens material from this size down to this size. This wheel in the center that has that channel, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel of the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So I'm going to wake up the computer. Job ID number 2668. 2668. So this will be programmed and recorded into the database. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were high index, Trivex, or regular plastic, I would choose that, but we're going to stick with polycarbonate because that's my go-to material of choice. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens because it won't protrude from the frame. But I am going to put one on the rear concave surface of the lens. Even though this won't protrude from the frame, I'll explain why in just a moment. But now I'm going to press that on the sticker on there firmly. Now the magnet's going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. I know, free bad jokes. Hit the green button, which is start. The door closes. The clamp's going to shut. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame on the first go round. And you can see it's tracing the shape of the right lens. The old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you will have none in this frame. But it is a little bit more critical when I cut the higher power lenses. Now the water you see in the background is there to catch the optical sawdust, also known as schwarf, as it is ejected off of the lens. If the lens ever touches down on the cutting wheel, that is. Now, polycarbonate lenses cut dry, meaning that no water sprays onto the lens while it is cutting, whereas plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning that water does spray onto those lenses. Now, water will spray onto these, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away the optical debris you see beginning to form. But your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. These are impact-resistant lenses, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel, from flying debris. Literally, if a mower ran over a rock and threw up and it hit you in the lens, this lens will not break. If someone's weed eating, throws a rock up, it will not break. If you ride a motorcycle, pebble comes up, hits you in the lens, your lens will not break. For the most part. It's not bulletproof, but as long as the rock's not traveling that fast. Now, it also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, naturally the polarized lenses have UV protection, but you're going to get sunglass level UV protection in a clear lens. The other nice thing about your polycarbonate, it is aspheric. Simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction, giving you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. The lenses, so the thinner and lighter, but aspheric just has a flatter front curvature to fit in today's flatter curvature frames. It gives you a wider field of view and a better cosmetic look. Now you have the anti-glare coating. The anti-glare is 3 features in one. The first feature reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights and such. So water was spraying on it, which tells me it's almost done. The second feature of the anti-glare goes by the initials ARC, which stands for anti-reflective coating, so it reduces reflections when someone's looking at you, so it makes for a much better eye contact. Someone's not looking at their reflection in your glasses, or if you take a selfie, you're less likely to see the phone in the lens, or if someone takes a picture with a flash, you're less likely to see the flash lit up in the lens. The third feature that I like is that the machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. Your lens has to go through an acid bath between each coating and left to air dry. So that's why it takes over 24 hours. So because of the time and the expense of the process, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. So let's see if it fits first time around. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, making sure it's in the frame. And the reason why I put the safety bevel on here, if it does not fit the first time around, I don't want any sharp edges, although this is not that sharp on this side, but I'm not applying any force there. I'm going to tuck it in the outside corner, push down the nose. It snaps in easily, but had it been too large, I don't want any sharp edges pressing against the edge of your frame, scratching it or giving you a cosmetic blemish at all. I am a licensed optician with over 21 years of experience. I went to college for this. I've personally cut tens of thousands of pairs of glasses for people. So you're going to get, I'm going to go through the whole process and show you how I inspect the glasses afterwards to make sure everything is perfect before ship. I still see a little bit of optical sawdust I want to clean off. I am a perfectionist. As I said, I went to college. Hey, my little block fell off. Let me get that. Pull away the sticker, add to my collection I have over there, throw that back in there, and we can go ahead and begin cutting the left lens, which is hiding. There we go. Flip that over to L, place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or today I'm calling it the Roberto. Hit the green start button, the door closes, the clamp shuts. Just like before, the left lens is going to be traced to make sure it's large enough to fit into the left side of the frame. And you can see as this going around tracing the shape of the left lens. In the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once, measuring the thickness of the lens to know where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Look at that, Robert. You got nothing. You got no edge thickness there. Partially because I use the polycarbonate lenses, which again are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic, as well as being unbreakable. But his prescription in his frame with the width of his PD, his pupillary distance, he's not going to have any edge thickness. Now what I'm going to do now is known as final inspection. I'm going to come down here and make sure everything is inspected properly. The axis wheel is still at 120. I'm going to put it in over the black dot, read the power. Now I'm getting -1 in the reds. That's where there's a minus sign. Plus powers are in the black. So we're at -1 in the red. That's because his prescription reads for the right eye -1, -1/4 at 120. Everything in the optical world is in quarter increments. It's actually, the full power is called a diopter. It starts at 0, which we in the industry call Plano, which people in Texas call a city. But it starts at 1/4, 0.50, 0.75, 1. So he's on the 4th rung of a ladder. He needs 4 steps of far-sighted correction to see far away. He can see great with his glasses off, but once things get far away, he needs 4 steps of correction. Now, once the image is the correct size, he needs 1 step of astigmatism correction, the smallest you can have, -1/4. Now, uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. It also causes, you know, a halo effect when you drive at night, when you look at light, so the anti-glare coating reduces that. But we're going to check the second curve. The first curve, -1, is on the x-axis or the y-axis. The -1/4 is 25 degrees, 90 degrees away, the quarter power, and it's how we line those two curves up. On the vertical meridian and the horizontal meridian. And we're going to turn that power to 120. We're going to check the second curvature, and we're at -1 1/4. 1 tick mark past 1, heading towards 2. That's because if you had $1 and somebody borrowed 25 cents from you, they would owe you $1.25. That's where at 125 in the red. Now his left eye, he only needs 4 steps of far-sighted correction, no astigmatism correction. Now this frame, nearly every frame that I offer on Mexico Eyewear sells for $149 complete with 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses. All the frames with a polarized clip-on are $25 more. So it is $174.99. My house anti-glare is $44.99 for a total of $219.98 tax-free. That's because I mentioned that now a lot of people on the internet have to charge tax now. I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device. So I do not have to charge tax on any medical device, therefore eyeglasses. So for now I am tax-free, and I include free shipping to anywhere in the US and its territories. So I'm going to work on the left side. I've turned it, I'm not trying to reach across, I've turned it towards me. The side I'm working on, tuck it in at the outside corner. Press down at the nose, it snaps in there easily. These frames are so well made. And I should back up and say, I designed these frames. My best friend moved to San Antonio, Texas. He went to San Antonio for a wedding, his cousin's wedding. He met a woman there named Laura. She was from Monterrey, Mexico. He fell in love with her, got married, moved to San Antonio so she could be just a few hours away from her family. Now, the old saying, you know, I miss my friend. We used to do everything together. We were bachelors for the longest time, but the weekend that he moved, I met my wife. It's that old saying, when God closes a door, he opens up another for you. When one door shuts, another one opens. So my friend who I used to do everything with, now my best friend became my wife. Because I told him I wanted to start designing my own frames. He challenged me to come up with the Mexico collection. And I have a lot of friends here, a lot of people here in North Carolina who've moved here for work. They've made this place great. Unlike what our president says, you are the future of this country. Anyone of Mexican descent or Latino in general. I'm going to try and do other countries first, but I'm starting with Mexico. But you are the future of this country, and I wanted something dedicated to you. You guys get bashed a lot in the media. I don't want to get political, but I'm glad you're here. You've made my life better with the friends I've met, the culture that you bring, the restaurants. Oh, don't let me get me started on Mexican food. I could eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, and then eat it twice for Sunday supper and never get tired of it. So, but that's that. Let me quickly do an inspection on the left lens. But again, I went to college for this. Now I'm designing my own frames. -1. Pupillary distance is 33.5 for each eye for a total of 67. I'm going to, let me darken this because you guys can't see that. It's rubbing off the water that was spraying on there. One of the last parts of final inspection, I have to measure the pupillary distance to make sure these are the same width as your eyes. So I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against your right lens. Let's do millimeters and not inches. And when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 67 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Optical center height is 22. So I measured the horizontal. Now I want to measure the vertical, and not to the bottom of the lens, but to the middle of the plastic of the frame, because again, the bevel of the frame, the lens goes halfway into the frame. So when you look at the halfway point of the frame, that's at 22 millimeters. 22 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. The last thing I do is I want to, well, actually, as I clean your lenses, I mentioned there's free shipping anywhere in the US. and Midvale, Utah is in the US, so free shipping. But as I clean your lenses, I like to mention that when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these will fit too loose or too tight. I can clean better than that. Come on now. So these will fit too loose or too tight, but there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people, all right, the sticker residue is on there. 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. Now see, there is a wobble. I need to adjust for that, but that's actually the temple tip. So I'm going to heat this up. Bend that down. So now that they are matching and there's no wobble. Now when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. So again, because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just stop by your place, tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly. Now, I'm wearing the other magnetic clip-on frame that I offer from Mexico Eyewear. This is the classic P3 round shape. It comes with a polarized clip-on as well. Just like this one comes in 2 colors, black and tortoise. The 2 colors this one comes in is black and crystal. Both of them will come with the clip always matches the frame front color. So if you get a tortoise frame, you're going to get the tortoise clip. If you get a crystal frame, you're going to get a crystal clip. And of course it has the flag on one side and Mexico on the other. And again, you can have a choice. If you don't like the 3 colors, the way Mexico is written, this is the default color. But just select, you know, this frame, which is the, let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. This frame is the PTC 103. So this is the 103, this is the 104. If you just click the 103, you're going to get it with the 3 colors. If you click 103-1 in crystal, that means it'll come with Mexico written in 1 color. So let me finish up with Robert's pair. So again, all of these are polarized clip-ons. You can see the magnet in here. In order to have a polarized clip-on, the frame itself has to have a magnet in it. You can't just add it to any frame. The magnet has to be in the frame that corresponds to the magnets there. And again, if you will, everything is still new. The website's being built. If you want a second clip, it's just $25 more. So this frame again sells for $174.99. Everything else is $150 that doesn't come with a clip. These are essentially $175. For another $25, you can get a second clip. If you ever lose this first one, you can always call back up and order. Of course, I encourage you to get 2 because, again, people have 2 vehicles, a work truck, a regular truck, a spouse's motorcycle. If you want to keep one at home for when you're outside working in the yard, when you're mowing, weed eating, something you don't care if it gets scratched up, then you keep a second pair that you want to make sure it doesn't get scratched. We live in a rough world. Things happen to glasses. I try and give the most scratch resistant lenses possible, but nothing on this planet is scratch proof, not even diamonds. But everything comes with scratch protection. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to pay for it. You're going to get that. But let me get back to the final inspection. There's no wobble there. No wobble there. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly. Then they do, that neither temple is askew. Now I send out selfie instructions in every package. Roberto, would love to have a picture with you indoors with these clear or outside, and then a second one with a clip on there. Turn your head just enough so we can get the flag on one side or the Mexico written on the other. And I also send out, you get a premium microfiber cleaning cloth that has Mexico on there, my email, all my social media. And if you have any questions, you can just go to the contact me page of the website. Ask me a question. I can do any prescription. I can do any power. I can do any lens. This is single vision with anti-glare. I can do single vision with transitions and anti-glare. I can do the photochromic transitions in gray, brown, green, and blue. Blue is hot. If you want to see what the green looks like, let me take mine off, move the flag just for a minute, place my lenses into the photochromic transitions box, and in just a moment I'll show you my lenses. Although I can't remember if these are gray or brown. I mean gray or green, but we'll figure it out in just a moment. I think I went with gray just to match the frame color. No, these are green. Okay, that's what I did. So I've got the photochromic transitions green in here to match the green of the flag, and then when I want to go outside, I've got my polarized clip on, but that, that's in the car. I don't have it with me. My clip is black because it matches the frame. But again, because the photochromic transitions don't work in a car, that's why I keep the clip there. I'm going to put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. But you can get the photochromic extra gray that will turn 30 to 50% dark behind a windshield. I can do polarized in gray, brown, and green. I can do mirror coatings. I can do light silver, shiny silver, a dull gold, a shiny gold, a mild blue, a glossy blue. I can do a green and a red. I actually would love to do a green mirror on one side and a red mirror on the other, so it's got the colors of the flag in the lenses. I may just have to go ahead and do that. But yeah, just go to the contact me page of the website, or you can email me at info@mexicoeyewear.com. If you like this video, do just that. Give me the thumbs up. Click the flag icon in the bottom right hand corner, and that way you'll subscribe and you'll be notified as future lens and frame combinations become available to be seen. You can follow me on Facebook as Mexico Eyewear, on Instagram as Mexico_Eyewear, and on Twitter simply, again, Mexico Eyewear. These frames are for people who love Mexico. I've been there once. I loved it. Man, when I was down there, I was hoping they were going to build a wall so I didn't have to come back. I know that's a bad joke to tell, but I loved it down there so much. I plan on retiring down there, just so you know. You guys help buy some of these frames to help me retire. But again, I designed these based on a friend's advice. I realized that you've seen me cut lenses for Ray-Ban, Polo, Versace, Oakley, Silhouette, everything in between. I realized that I'm just a cover band. I'll never be a rock star if I'm a cover band. And I realized that I'm just putting lenses and other brands of frames. So I decided I want to write my own songs. And this is the very first song that I wrote, was for Mexico Eyewear. I'm doing some more. I've got Christian eyewear coming out soon, and more brands coming as I start to come into my own. Again, I've got 21 years experience as an optician. I've personally cut lenses for tens of thousands of pair of glasses in my career, and now I get to cut them for my own frame. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to stand behind everything. These are very well made, great hinges, great Ultem plastic, which is flexible by itself. These are the two frames that come with the polarized clip-ons. So now when he goes outside, he's got that. They all come with a hard case. They all come with the Mexico Eyewear soft microfiber cleaning cloth with instructions on how to care for not just your frame and lenses, but for your cleaning cloth and case, so it too will last you for years. I give you instructions on how to take care of everything. But Roberto in Midvale, Utah, I cannot thank you enough for the purchase of all the glasses you have gotten for me, and for the referrals from his wife, from his friends. He's a really great guy. I am a people person, but that's the one thing about selling on the internet. I don't get a chance to interact with everyone personally, but we've been talking on the phone. The guy is great. Sent me his picture. He looks like a celebrity. I'm still trying to figure out which one it is. The guy looks famous, and if he's not, I'm going to make him famous. Or better yet, let him make me famous. But again, so I am See More Better. Call me Mo Better, because I'm maybe seeing Mo Better, looking Mo Better. And now hopefully everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.